If you're looking for one of the prettiest bike racks of all the ones that we sell here, the Kuat Sherpa is going to be one of my favorites. So this is a Kuat Sherpa, and we're taking a look at it on our 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. So this is the gunmetal gray. It has orange accents, but we also have pearl, which is pretty cool. And we also have black. So you can kind of pick the color that's going to go best with your rig, because again, this thing's really pretty. It has really nice powder coated finish. It's very, very glossy. So it's definitely going to turn some heads. And the nice thing about this thing is we are going to be able to tilt it away to access the hatch on our Grand Cherokee L. So this isn't going to limit our vehicle at all. It's just enabling us to be able to carry two bikes to wherever we want. All we need is a 2-inch hitch receiver, and we want to make sure that our bikes are no bigger than, or no heavier than 40 pounds per bike. When it comes to what this thing comes with, it comes with all the integrated locks that you want, and we do have a nice little cable lock, little spot right here. So they give you a separate cable lock. It doesn't hide away like the NV 2.0, but it just goes right here after you loop it around your bikes, and it is going to be key to the hitch lock, but we'll get to that in a little bit. It does come with an adapter for your kiddos' bikes. So the adapter is just going to go right here, and it's going to allow you to carry any wheel diameter from 20 inches all the way up to 29, which here at eTrailer we have a fair amount of bikes, and we haven't found a bike with large enough wheels that doesn't fit that. So it's a pretty good range, so you don't have to worry about your friend bringing a bike and you're like, it doesn't work with my rack. It's going to work, but the electric bikes is not going to be a great choice for that because it does have a 40-pound capacity. It is really easy to get the bikes off the rack. We always start with the little strap right here. We just go ahead and press this in and take this out. I always do that first because it doesn't hold the bike upright. It just prevents that vertical movement whenever you're going down the road, so it's not just bouncing around. And now put a hand on your bike so it just doesn't fall into the Grand Cherokee L. We're going to press this little knob here. It's very, very simple. It will fold out. And then you can take the bike off and set it to the side. Now, let's take a look at the rack. So one thing, this is going to have a 47-inch maximum when it comes to wheelbase. What really allows that to happen is just this pivoting point right here. And we're going to get tires up to 3 inches wide. So for your off-road tires and stuff like that, that'll all fit. Typically they're like 2.3, 2.5 wide. So it's going to work with this. It's going to work with your road bikes too, which is super nice. And whenever we're done using it, you just want to go like this, fold these arms in and fold this down. But before we do that, I do want to take some measurements. With any hitch mounted accessory, we're going to add a little bit of length. This one's actually pretty compact. So from the bumper to the farthest point, it's about 36 inches, so 3 foot, which isn't a whole lot. But the cool thing about it is we have about 14 inches of space in between our two bikes. So it gives you a lot of room so your handlebars aren't hitting. You don't really have to worry about that problem. So we're gonna have this little lever here. This is what lets it tilt, but it also lets us fold it up. I have noticed whenever you put it in reverse with any of the bike racks that we've been test fitting on our 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, is when you put it in reverse, the sensors will go off. You are going to see it in the rear view, and sometimes when you put it in reverse, it actually brake checks you for you. So that's with any bike rack, and the Sherpa is also going to do that as well. So that's just something to think about. It's something you're going to have to deal with if you want a bike rack on your Jeep Grand Cherokee L. But let's go ahead and take one last measurement. So by folding it up, we're going to cut our length down to about 18 inches, which isn't a whole lot. So from the bumper to our little knob here, I like the knob. So a lot of these bike racks, they come with a anti-rattle bolt, which is just a threaded bolt. So you're going to have like a wrench or something to tighten that up. It takes a little bit of time, but with this is what's gonna keep it from rattling around. Right now it's completely tight, and as you can see, the whole entire car moves and there's no play on the inside, so you're not gonna hear it. And that's something I like, but then you can just see how much this really does as I start to loosen this. that is what an anti-rattle bolt is going to do. But this one has the little knob, which I think is a nice little addition. It just makes it a tool-free install, which is kind of cool. Looking down on our pin over here, this is the locking core I was talking about earlier. Comes with it. Some of these bike racks don't, and it is going to be key to like with the lock for your bikes. So you can lock the rack to your car, and you can lock your bikes to the rack. So everything's safe. We always like to say to lock everything up because you never know. So a lot of times it's just a theft deterrent. It just gives me peace of mind, especially if I'm at a trail I'm not really familiar with people I don't really know. You never know what's going to happen. So it's nice that Kuat throws all that stuff in it.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action. And this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.
So again, if you're looking for the prettiest rack with the most options when it comes to colors, the Sherpa is going to be a good one. If you have some electric bikes, but you still like the powder coated finish that the Cuot delivers, the NV 2.0 is also going to have some color options. Not pearl, but you are going to get a couple different options as well. And that will be about 60 pounds per bike. So for the electric bikes and you want a cool style, go with the NV. But if you have lighter bikes and you like the style, I think the Sherpa is going to be a great choice for you. And again, this is the Kuat Sherpa on our 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L.